I'm Nadia Heng, and I'm about to walk you through an exhilarating Heineken Extra Cold experience on how you can provide your outlet with a whole new energetic experience, plus increase your sales volume. Heineken Extra Cold is served below 0 degrees Celsius, and its invigorating, extra refreshing taste rejuvenates the international premium beer brand Heineken. And from the first sip, that tasty cold sensation lingers until the very last sip, creating an entirely new ritual and an exhilarating experience for consumers. So here are a few reasons why we prefer Heineken Extra Cold. Serving extra cold temperatures between -2 degrees Celsius and 1 degree Celsius can drive Heineken preference and an incremental volume of an average of 18%. Moreover, Extra Cold is activated in 110 markets with over 85,000 installations and a rough throughput of 20 hectoliters, responsible for about 5% of the total global Heineken volume. It also increases frequency and penetration, promoting brand equity and brand switch, tapping into 3 main consumer needs: refreshment, drinkability, and experience. The exhilarating Extra Cold variant of Heineken is smoother in taste, making it widely acceptable for a broader target audience, especially in this hot, humid weather here in Malaysia. And the Extra Cold variant caters to a broader target group of outgoing, fun-loving consumers who are always up for a new experience. Not only is the Heineken Extra Cold a unique end product, but the draft beer system is also a sophisticated one. But don't stress, because the installation process is easy peasy. Besides the standard draft beer system, Heineken Extra Cold also operates via a unique operating system known as the Heineken Extra Cold system, or simply HEC system. There's only one simple requirement for the HEC system, and that is to ensure it's located in a prime customer visibility area within an enclosed environment with no direct airflow to the front. Let's take a look at the 4 major components of the HEC system: the Extra Cold glass freezer, the Fountain Extra Cold font, the control box, and last but not least, the MIG60 Glycol chiller. The Extra Cold glasses should always be chilled in the Extra Cold glass freezer for at least 30 minutes prior to serving the beer. Now, the freezer's adjustment panel is located at the back, and it's preset to -18 degrees Celsius, so you don't have to readjust it. Your freezer should always be in a highly visible point in the bar and within close proximity to the Heineken Extra Cold draft font. And you want to make sure that you always have an Extra Cold glass just within arm's reach. This is to ensure that when you serve your Heineken Extra Cold draft beer, it's at its optimum temperature. Let's refer to this as the font. The font should always be frozen, as can be seen by the ice that's formed on the font itself. And the temperature indication should always be between 0 and -2 degrees Celsius. This is to ensure that when dispensing the beer, it's always at its optimum Extra Cold temperature. Firstly, let's refer to this as the illumination unit. There will be 3 rubber O-rings here, here, and attached at the bottom of the font. One font illumination, 1 tap adapter, 1 tap handler, and 1 Allen key 2.5, as well as a nut. To install the illumination unit, place the tower flat like this. Ensure that there are 2 O-rings here to secure a watertight fit. Since we're on this side, notice the temperature indicator over here. Push the font illumination into the holes tightly using the Allen key to connect the font illumination to the font. It's important to push the font illumination in its place while securing the screws, otherwise the O-rings might not seal the connection properly. Now let's move on to the installation of the font on the bar. We then install the condensation tray. Place it atop the platform, followed by the font. Ensure the condensation tray and the font is properly secured at the top, and the temperature indicator is visible to customers. Secure the font using a nut fitted at the bottom of the bar to ensure it's stable. Screw the tap adapter like this and followed by the tap handler. Secure the tap handler using the Allen key. Ensure the logo is facing both the bartender and the customer at all times. To complete the setup of the font, place the drip tray at the table just below the tap adapter. The font must always be located in a highly visible area to the customer, with the temperature indicator facing the front. But do note that the temperature indicated on here is that of the font and not of the beer. The control box serves as an automated timer for the overall system and can be easily customized for any outlet's operating hours. Firstly, place the control box underneath the bar in a dry place, preferably aligned below the font, as this will help to regulate the flow of glycol to the font. Connect the cable of the font to the control box, and do note that the quick connector can only fit in one way. Ideally, the control box should be mounted on the wall below the bar, aligned with the font and alongside the MIG60. This is a single cooler that enables a fountain extra cold font to freeze, producing that frosted effect on the external body and thus allowing the beer to be dispensed at a temperature below 0 degrees Celsius. And glycol is a solution that runs through an individual line through the font, thus translating into that frosted effect and extra cold beer. Remember, the MIG60 is an independent operating system that serves as a cooling unit, especially for the Heineken Extra Cold system, and is a separate system altogether from the standard ice bank cooler. Firstly, the MIG60 has a few inlets, which connects to the font. There are 2 recirculation lines and 1 beer line. The recirculation lines consist of the glycol solution with 1 inlet in and the other inlet out. These recirculation lines are the key elements to providing the frosted effect on the font. The beer line runs from the beer keg through the MIG60, thus dispensing the beer at an extra cold temperature. Next, take the trunk line, also known as the python, and feed the beer line from the tap connection through the font, in to in and out to out. Connect the recirculation tube in at the pressure side of the MIG60 marked out. Connect the recirculation tube out at the return side of the MIG60 marked in. This is the agitator which mixes the glycol solution. This is the main switch which turns the MIG60 on and off. This is the pump switch that pumps the glycol. This is the thermostat control which controls the temperature of the MIG60. On the top of the MIG60 there are 2 inlets. One is for the glycol mix, which is a mix of glycol solution and water, and the other is for pure water. The most important thing to note is the ratio of glycol solution and water mix. For the glycol mix, the ratio should always be 70% of clean water and 30% glycol. In other words, use 6 liters of glycol solution and mix it with 40 liters of water. To check the concentration of the glycol solution, take a sample of the glycol and place it on the refractometer. Note the reading cannot be over 18 Brix. The MIG60 must be positioned under the bar and aligned below the font, and always allow for 6 inches above and around the machine to allow for a proper discharge of the heat that's being generated. There, wasn't that easy? If I can do it, I'm sure you can do it in half the time. Here are some basic troubleshooting guidelines to help you along the way. So what happens if the font doesn't light up? Check all the following equipment to make sure they're turned on properly, including the HEC font power switch, the MIG60 glycol chiller, and the control box. So what do you do if the machine is too noisy? Make sure the MIG60 is laid out on a flat surface, because any uneven surfaces can add to vibration. What happens if the beer is not cold enough? We'll always make sure that the MIG60 is turned on at least 30 minutes prior to ensure you get your preset desired temperature. If after running through your troubleshooting checklist your problem still persists, please call our friendly GAB service technician. Heineken Extra Cold Glasses. These glasses should be clean and stored in the extra cold glass freezer. Heineken Skimmer and Holder. The skimmer is used as part of the Heineken Extra Cold Perfect Serve ritual. Its function is to skim the top of the foam and must be submerged in clean water in the skimmer holder at all times to ensure a perfect head of foam. Heineken Extra Cold Coasters. This should be served to the customer together with the extra cold beer. Heineken Extra Cold Bar Mat. This should be placed at the bar counter in front of the font to enhance visibility. The Heineken Extra Cold experience is not complete without the 5-step Heineken Extra Cold Perfect Serve ritual. Step 1. Take a clean, frozen Heineken Extra Cold glass from the glass freezer. Step 2. Pour beer into the glass at a 45-degree angle in one single motion. Straighten the glass when 3/4 full and fill the glass to the brim. Step 3. Skim off the foam at a 45-degree angle to seal the head. Step 4. Check that the head sits on the horizontal line of the star. And Step 5. Serve Heineken on a branded coaster. Always serve the beer with the brand facing the customer. This is the perfect Heineken Extra Cold experience. If you have any further inquiries, please do not hesitate to contact your local GAB sales rep or your draft beer quality supervisor. Thank you for watching, and now is the time to get out there and sell that all-new exhilarating Heineken Extra Cold experience